Good morning. It's June 14th, 2024. I thought to check before I learn. I just take longer than some. My computer works today, so I'm able to do my job. I don't know if I said anything yesterday. I might not have, but a big part of my day was that my computer it was so full. My work computer's not mine, but it was so full because when they gave it to me 3 years ago, they had not removed the previous user's information. So there was like 40 gigabytes out of like 60 taken up with just all that. And I had reported it a couple of years ago. And they didn't really do anything about it. They just had this cleanup run basically at the end of every day. And I still had to go. It was so bad, like I had to delete emails from my Outlook, and I had to delete cookies from my browsers and able to move on and just use the programs. Like I use Citrix to get into the virtual machine, to get into the systems of the place where I work. And Citrix was like you cannot proceed until you delete some cookies, and that is really low on space. I've never had to work like that before, and they just wouldn't do anything about it. And I told them it's the users folder. You can see that it is taking up all the space, and they're like, yeah, whatever. And I'm not sure why they needed to keep the previous user's information, because if they were just imaging the hard drive, just image it with that user's information. We need to keep the files, and also keep the files on your server. Like, why would you keep it on a laptop and clutter it up like that, and then refuse to remove it when it starts causing problems? So it actually went really easily with IT yesterday because I knew what I was talking about, and it's like, well, there's two things that have been happening, and both of them are related to the computer being super full. So watch that hard drive space. It's important. I didn't really do my exercise yesterday. I didn't go on the roof. The whole day was just concerned with getting this computer back up and running, and it is. But, it is. I've been using it, 9+ hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 years, and clearly it was repurposed, so who knows how much it had been used before that. It's time to refresh people's work computers, I think. But for the moment, this one works. I have everything I need, and there are no problems, other than all my passwords are gone, and I have to remember them. And now, from now on, I have a nice, neat notebook, and I'd been writing them basically in a composition book where I had all the information for my Security Plus certification. The class I took, it was the notes for the class. So my Security Plus composition book, I just wrote random passwords just in any space I could find in that. And that as of yesterday was too much of a problem. I couldn't find or do anything, so everything had to be reset. So that notebook there, I'm going to just put them nicely. It's dedicated to work passwords and pins and all the things that I need to know all the time, because I have so many accounts and things that need to be logged into every day, which is fine. As of today, only took marginally more time because I can't stay signed. Oh, well, whatever. So I watched this video by this guy on YouTube. He was explaining why he's not going to be getting a liver transplant. I think there's a couple reasons. I think one, he just has too much damage, and two, he feels that as a drinker, it's not fair that he should get a liver because he did it to himself. Obviously I'm the opposite of that. I did not do anything to get this problem. I had no idea it was coming. Nobody's going to test for the mitochondrial AMA just out of the blue until something happens. So nobody had any idea that this would happen. Nobody in my family has liver issues. Nobody in my family has celiac, as far as I know. If they do, it's relatively silent. My cousins might, but they're fairly distant, and I wouldn't. I think they're like second cousins. But kids do. So that would even be further removed. But yeah. I don't agree with him. I think that, although we all know that alcohol causes liver issues, I don't think that if he's making a real effort to stop drinking, which it seems like he is, I think that he should get a liver. But at the same time, I also am aware of the huge change in life, how invasive the surgery is, and how your life changes after with all the drugs that you need to take, and all the doctor visits you have. And even with that, even knowing how horrible it is, I'm still gonna do it. I mean, I also, I didn't cause this, so I don't have that burden, but even if I had, I still think I would probably do it. I don't want to die. I think I'm too young to die. I think I'm too young to die in 10 years, which is about what the internet says I have to live. The doctors don't. Doctors never ever say. So, and of course, time to live, since I'm on the transplant list, means time to transplant, I think, at this point. Or time to being at the top of the list. Being at the top of the list does not guarantee a transplant, but there's nothing unusual about me. I'm not overly big or overly small. My blood type is the most common in the world, so positive. I couldn't see that there would be a major issue. I realize that in California here, you have to be very, very, very sick to get a transplant because there's so many people. But a lot of people means a lot of livers. A lot of people dying. But I guess I read somewhere that Florida has the best chance of getting a liver. To be honest with you, I would really rather do a live liver transplant rather than wait until I'm so sick that I can't function. Actually, to be honest with you, I'd rather not get a transplant ever. But unlike this guy, I can't just let myself die in my 50s. If I can help it, I have to fight. I'm not ready. I think that's about it for today. There's not a lot to talk about medically, and I feel fine. I'm tired. I didn't exercise really yesterday either. In fact, I took the watch off. I was like, this is going to be another lost day, and I don't know if I'm going to do it today, but I am going to get back on the horse. I am going to get, do my things. I have to be okay with the occasional day off and the occasional days off in a row. It's just my life now. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.